everyone. This is L2N Gaming. Come on, sit on down. We got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about how basically the Steelers today stuck up the joint. So, I said last week in the last video, if the Steelers can keep a balanced offense against the Jaguars, we will have at least a chance of competing in today's game. But the Steelers started off with 4 3-and-outs. That's not going to get the job done against a football team that's already proven themselves of winning a playoff game or being competitive or being a contender. No way, no how. That's not how you get the job done. And the defense sort of did their job. They did what they could. It's just that in today's game, the offense did not show up. And to make things worse, the injury buzz start coming in. Fitzpatrick gets hurt. Kenny gets hurt. Dan Moore gets shaken up a little bit. Johnson probably aggravated his hamstring again. Overall, this was just not a this was a disaster from beginning to end. Let's go ahead and move on to the stats. Trevor Lawrence, 24 for 32, 292 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. Now I knew before this game that he was going to give out gifts, and he did. Too bad the Steelers didn't capitalize on it. Well, mostly thanks to the referees for calling that stupid ass call on offsides or whatever on the offensive line. Boswell had to kick the 61-yarder. It wasn't even close. But man, Boswell got screwed on that one. All right. 24 carries for 79 yards. If I screwed up his name, please forgive me. Evan Ingram, I think. 10 receptions, 88 yards. Dude, this is the Jaguars. This is what they do. They're gonna grind it out against anybody. That's what they do. They're a grinding team. They're not gonna flash you all the time. They're just gonna get the job done. And this is what they did. They weathered the storm from our sorry offense, and they did what they needed to do against the Steelers defense, especially on that touchdown pass where I don't know what the hell Jordan Porter Jr. was doing. But hopefully this is a learning experience for him. For some reason, he just stopped, and the receiver was able to beat him. He got a lot to learn. This was a rookie mistake, right? So I'm pretty sure they're gonna talk to him on Monday. Let's move on. Kenny Pickett, 10 for 16 for 73 yards. Got hurt at the end of the second quarter. No call, by the way, from the referees that earlier called a bullshit roughing the passer O'Neal, who tackled Trevor Lawrence the softest way that he could. Still get called for the flag. Where was the flag when Kenny was dragged down by the defensive player, injuring his ribs? No call. If this was Patrick Mahomes, they would have thrown the flag. If this was Aaron Rodgers, they would have thrown the flag. Apparently, if it was Trevor Lawrence as well, he'd get the flag thrown for him too. But for Kenny, no. Just horse shit, no call. But anyway, Mitch Trubisky comes into the game. 15 for 27, 139 yards, 1 TD, 2 interceptions. I don't care about the second interception, but Look, you can say anything you want about Kenny Pickett, but I know Kitty ain't gonna make that bad interception that Mitch did. Mitch, how long you been in this league? And you gonna throw the triple coverage, my man. Granted, he led the team with a touchdown afterwards. But man, come on now. This was a boneheaded interception. You know better than that. But I'm not expecting anything from Mitch or any other backup quarterback because he's a backup quarterback for a reason, right? You want to go with the argument with who's going to start in Thursday night game, Mason or Mitch? Have right at it. Because if either of those two are starting in Thursday night football instead of Kenny, we ain't got no chance. No chance whatsoever. I don't care what anybody say. When they're in the game, my expectations are lowered. Just like how it was lower when Mitch got into the game after, Kenny couldn't come back and play. My expectation was low. Yours should be too. But anyway, let's move on to the running game. Jaylen Warren, 5 for 19. Harris, 7 for 13. What is this? What am I looking at? Just ugly numbers right here. Ugly. This is as ugly as you can get. But let's move forward to the receiving. Deontay Johnson, 8 for 85. Boy, is he going to play Thursday? Harris, 5 for 42. Cam Hayward, 5 for 25. George Pickens, 1 for 22, 1 TD. Why is Matt Canada making this so hard for George Pickens? I mean, you can't come up with any plays for him to get like a quick pass going, like a bubble or something. A hitch, quick hitch. I mean, why are you making this so hard for this man? Just look at him. This is pitiful. 1, 2. I can see why. Like, you want to call receivers divas and stuff. You want to call them a diva when they're all mad and upset that they're not getting the ball. I can see why they act the way they do now. Because if their production go down in any kind of way, the owners are going to look at them stats and be like, oh, see? Like, why should we pay you the money if your productions go down? Well, first of all, maybe it's because they got a shitty quarterback that won't throw the ball. Or sometimes, maybe, just maybe, they got a shitty offensive coordinator as well. I feel bad for this man. There's nothing else to say on that. Just look at it. Look at this. This is pitiful, man. Let's move on. Holcomb, 7 tackles, 4 assists, 11 tackles. Neal, 8 tackles. Kaji with an interception. I thought he played well with the absence of Fitzpatrick. Speaking of Fitzpatrick, hamstring injury. Don't know how long. You know how hamstring injuries are, right? He's gonna be day to day, week by week. So get ready to see. You think he's gonna make it to Thursday night games? That Thursday night game? Fat chance. But week for week, we don't know how his condition is gonna be. But moving on, Joey Porter Jr., 5 tackles. He got to play better. I'm pretty sure they're going to talk to him on Monday. Like, no, you can't stop for a second. For a second against a good receiver. Period. Like, don't assume that Kazi got your back or your safety got your back. Never assume that. Highsmith, 4 tackles. half a sack. TJ Watt, 1 sack. TJ Watt is TJ Watt. What can I say? If he's going to get triple team, we got to have other people stepping up. That's all I got to say on that. Kwai Alexander, why he's not starting Tomlin? I thought we had it clear that, you know, Alexander should be starting. But whatever. It is what it is. Patrick Peterson, this is not working out. I expected the secondary to be manageable, at least. I did not expect this. So I got a question to ask you Steelers fans. Should the Steelers pick up Patrick Surtain for the Denver Broncos? Look, in order to get him, you're going to probably give up 2 first-round picks. That's going to be gone. Maybe a second rounder, maybe a 4th rounder, maybe even a player. You know that Patrick he's gonna require 2 first-round draft picks. Hands down. Do you get them? But anyway, let's check out the schedule. Well, with the way Pittsburgh stuck up the joint against Jacksonville, they got a Thursday night game football coming up against the Tennessee Titans, who just won their game earlier today with their rookie quarterback. Normally I would say, oh, this is barbecue chicken for the Steelers. Like 1-1-1-1-1. Fresh meat. But it's not like that right now. Especially when Lewis, 4 TDs. Huh. Can we stop him? That's the question. Or do the Steelers defense, at least on the secondary, stake up the joint again? This is a toss-up. I know we ain't gonna have Kenny. It'd be a miracle if he plays. It would be a miracle if Fitzpatrick plays. Yep, I can feel it. I can feel it in my plums that this is gonna be another stinker. But other than that, this is the end of this video. Short and sweet. Thank you for checking it out. If you like the video, please give me a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Oh man, what a terrible game.